Welcome to the Alberta Schools Athletic Association's 4A Provincial Basketball Championships from Jasper Place High School in Edmonton. Good evening, friends. I'm Kevin Donnan, and I'm proud to bring you the call of tonight's championship games from the Rebel Gymnasium in Edmonton. Our first game as part of the ASAA Championship doubleheader is in the women's 4A division, the top division in the province, with the #1 ranked St. Albert Catholic Skyhawks taking on the Bishop Carroll Cardinals of Calgary. We're just going through our pregame introductions. The Bishop Carroll Cardinals, of course, in red, and the St. Albert Skyhawks in white. I'm pleased to be joined by the former coach of the MacEwan University women's basketball team and a former coach in the Metro Athletic Association with Spruce Grove, a man who's no stranger to the Provincial 4A tournament. Great to have you with us. Dave Oldham, welcome to the broadcast. And you know what? The big question going into this one, it's not often you'll hear this said in a tournament like this, but Bishop Carroll's the #2 seed. If they could win tonight, that might be considered a pretty big upset based on what we've seen in this tournament so far and the performance by the Skyhawks.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I think you're right there. The St. Albert Skyhawks are the #1 seed, and for very good reason. They've kind of steamrolled their way through the tournament so far, and I think would have to be considered favorites going into tonight's game. But it is a provincial final, and I've been around the women's game in high school basketball for a long time, and they play the game for a reason, and they're going to have to play well tonight to be successful.
Absolutely. St. Albert, the Metro Athletic Edmonton champion. Bishop Carroll, the #3 seed, got a measure of revenge in the semifinal, Dave, against Western. And here we go. Welcome to the Alberta Schools Athletic Association 4A Women's Provincial Final. Great to have you along with us. Kevin Donnan and Dave Oldham. This webcast brought to you by the ASAA, and we're so glad to be here from the Jasper Place High School Gymnasium. And Dave, if these walls could talk.
Oh, there's a lot of stories that have been created in this gym and lots of provincial championships. I think tonight early we're going to have to look for Bishop Carroll going through the high post to Yvonne Edgem. She's their key player, and we'll need to have an assertive start for them to be successful, and they like to run her out of the high post. So we'll see how she does there and how St. Albert defends that.
This is certainly one of the legendary sporting venues in Edmonton, no question about it. The Jasper Place Gym. Of course, Jasper Place High School, founded in 1961, and when you walk into this building, of course, with the Rebel tournament, the Reb tournament every December, as you mentioned, there's a lot of stories in this hallowed gym, and we're going to write 2 more tonight with the championship doubleheader here, the ASAA High School Provincial Championships. The St. Albert Skyhawks, of course, they won. They are the champions of the Metro Athletic 4A high school division. They defeated Jasper Place in the Edmonton City Championship 69-49. And in Calgary, Bishop Carroll 63-44. Actually, that was Western that won 63-44. But the top 2 teams, and you know one thing, Dave, about this tournament as we have a bit of a break in the action, the one thing that you can say is that you gotta have a tip of the cap to the seeding committee here, because they were 4 for 4 on both brackets. The top 4 teams emerged on both the women's and men's when it came to the semifinals. So a big tip of the cap to the tournament committee, because some outstanding basketball this weekend and on this championship bracket.
Yeah, they did a great job, and even on the girls' side, the 3 seed beat the 4 seed for the bronze medal, so it fell to form, and we'll see what happens here tonight.
Here we go now, live action. No score. Had a little bit of a delay here to start things, but glad you're along with us. Here we go, the first shot from 3 and off the window. Lucy Faba for the Cardinals hits the triple.
I think that 3-point shooting tonight's going to be real key for Bishop Carroll. They banked one in there, but they're going to have to hit a few more to stick with St. Albert, I think.
St. Albert, of course, known for that defense. And, of course, known for Tia DeMong, #0, the 6-foot guard, grade 11, great competitor. provincial player as well on Team Alberta. Now down low, kicks it back out for three, and once again, as you called it, Alex Lamakia, the 5'6" guard, hits from downtown.
Quite often what happens is teams will collapse on Yvonne in the high post and open up those three-point shots, and Bishop Carroll's been able to take advantage of that early.
First three-point attempt by St. Albert misses. Battle for the ball. Skyhawks will retain possession. That's Faba and Annecy Palmer, number 5, who got tangled up. Here's DeMong now. Just on the foul line. Good rebound there. There's the three from the corner. Short, won't go. And there's the rebound by Edgem, number 11. And she'll run the floor. Typically a post player. But she has the athleticism to run the floor as well, and does quite well, and she'll get 2 on the foul on DeMong. So,
you know what, Yvonne seals really well inside, has a nice pull-up jump shot, and can attack off the dribble like you just saw there. So she's got the whole package and will be a handful for St. Albert tonight.
And she will shoot 2. Bishop Carroll, the 3 seed. 2 seed, check that, thank you. So these are the top 2 teams in the province. Skyhawks got here in the tournament in their first game, defeated Charles Spencer of Grand Prairie, the 16 seed, 92-29. There's a nice lay-in down the baseline. Cameron DeClerc, you'll hear her name quite a bit during the broadcast. 5'9" guard, grade 11. Oh, nice work down low. As you mentioned, Dave, working down into the low post by Edgem. The Cardinals showing a real variety here, being able to shoot from the outside and work the low post, and they get the rebound here. Once again, they try to feed it to Edgem, and the turnover by the Cardinals. As we mentioned, St. Albert got here in the quarterfinal in their second game, 78-27 over St. Mary of Calgary, and in the semifinal they defeated Jasper Place, a rematch of the city final, and the Skyhawks won that one 73-41.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, both of these teams can really offensive rebound. Yvonne for Bishop Carroll and Mimi Segay, number 11 for St. Albert Catholic, are really aggressive on the offensive glass, and I think that will tell a few stories tonight as well.
Early moments here, 2.5 minutes in. Glad you're along with us. The Alberta Schools Athletic Association 4A final, and really great work down low by Segay. In the low post, there's going to be a great battle here. Both number 11s, Edgem and Segay. That'll be the low post battle, but as you mentioned, Dave, the outside shooting of the Cardinals right now. And right now the Cardinals are mixing things up a little bit. You gotta like the strategy here.
They're playing a great inside-out game right now, and Yvonne's making the defense collapse inside, opening up shots, and then when they chase back out, she's open inside. They've done it very well.
6-point lead here, and there's the errant pass. It's number 9, Morgan Harris. She was looking for DeMong. Bit of a miscommunication and a timeout taken here by John Diedrich. And this is the one thing that we talked about in the city championships was you're in a big game like this. You've coached at this level. This is a timeout because the nerves have kicked in a little bit for St. Albert.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of these athletes, this may be their first provincial championship. Bishop Carroll actually was in the final last year after beating St. Albert in the semifinal. So they may be a little more experienced and might have given them an edge out of the start. I think it's a great timeout by Coach Diedrich to settle his girls and see if they can come out with a strategy to stop Bishop Carroll's offensive threats right now and get themselves settled down on offense as well. They're making a few uncharacteristic mistakes, but they're playing in an uncharacteristic game right now, so that's going to happen.
And why wouldn't you be nervous? It's the provincial championship. Of course, you know, March Madness, we talk about that in the NCAA, but Alberta has its own March Madness. This has been such a wonderful tournament. There's been upsets. There's been so many close games, and it's it's truly been a celebration of the sport here in Alberta, which, has grown so much in terms of in terms of quality. There are players from Alberta now being recruited by the NCAA routinely, and what a celebration of the sport in our province.
It's been a wonderful weekend, and a big shout out to JP High School for hosting again.
Absolutely.
They always do a great job.
There's the foul called. It's number 9, Morgan Harris, draws the foul.
I anticipate St. Albert to pick up the defensive intensity, as was just witnessed there. That's kind of their identity, and when they're struggling, that's what they're going to go to.
Well, certainly that is a big part of their game. Of course, they haven't, in their first 3 games, haven't given up 100 points, which is, virtually unheard of, holding, 2 teams to under 30. That's how special this defense is. But right now, they're down by 6 by a very determined Cardinal school, and there's a nice left-handed runner there by Morgan Harris.
Big offensive rebound by Mimi again, and off offensive rebounds, defenses aren't as set, and that's a great attack by Morgan.
And there's a 3-point attempt, and Edgem nearly hits from outside, and she shows her versatility as well. We talked about her being a post player, but she's got a silky smooth shooting stroke, and there's the wild pass by the Skyhawks, but this works. DeMong draws the foul in the paint. So DeMong taking a bit of an active role here, driving the lane in our ASAA replay.
Yeah, you know what? She can, much like Yvonne, she can play inside out. She likes to get to the rim, but if you let her shoot the 3, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble there too. So 2 very talented athletes, probably couple of the top 2 female basketball players in the province going head to head tonight.
And as we mentioned, we talked about how St. Albert got here. Well, Bishop Carroll in their first game defeated Lindsay Thurber of Red Deer 68-38 in their Game 2 quarterfinal. 68-43 over the number 10 seed Paul Kane of St. Albert, and the Game 3 semifinal 55-43 over Western Canada. So Bishop Carroll having a splendid tournament up here in Edmonton. And the Skyhawks now trying to tie this game on the 3-point, won't go. Rebound now. Number 5, Annecy Palmer tried to feed it down low, and the change in possession here is a turnover by Bishop Carroll. Sophia DiGiacomo, the grade 12 center for the Cardinals.
Sophia is actually coming up to Edmonton next year to go to MacEwan University. She was recruited to be both a soccer and basketball player, so a wonderful overall athlete.
And there's the nice work down low. That's number 5, Annecy Palmer. 5'10" forward, grade 10 forward. One thing about this Skyhawks team, they have a wealth of talent, 6 grade 10s in this lineup, so they're going to be, they're going to be a significant problem in the province and in Metro Athletic for a few years to come with this kind of talent. And right now, Annecy Palmer has made a statement here for the Skyhawks, so she's part of that youth movement at forward for the Skyhawks, and that's a big bucket here as St. Albert takes the lead 14-12. Dave, walk us through this first half, if you will, of the first quarter. What have you seen?
I saw Bishop Carroll come out really strong early, get some confidence from the 3-point line, knocking down a couple shots, getting the ball inside to Yvonne, and as anticipated, St. Albert called their timeout. You can see Yvonne inside there getting her layup, and St. Albert coming back with a little bit greater defensive intensity, and that spurs their offense, as most teams do. They start with defense and offense. Yvonne there with another nice inside take. Great timeout by Coach Fluker at Bishop Carroll to reset his team, and it's a chess game. At this level, both these teams are well coached and well scouted, and a little bit of adjustments here and there can make a difference on the floor. So I anticipate, and I'm anxious to see what Bishop Carroll will come out with here out of the timeout.
And you've had a long tournament too. This is how you coaches sell those win sprints in November. This is the final game of the year, and you remember those first practices in November where you have to wake up early or stay late. And this is what this is the reason why you get to the gym early and take extra shots. It's so you can get an opportunity like this.
Absolutely, and this is the 4th game in 3 days, and that just isn't recreated anywhere else in the high school basketball season. So it's unique, and both teams are a little tired but are ready to go.
There's a nice little pull-up jumper by Edgem, a little 6-footer. Great play from Bishop Carroll, and there's the 3 by DeMong, won't go, and DiGiacomo with a good defensive rebound. And she'll bring it up the floor to Faba. It's Lucy Faba to the far side. Now Edgem at the top. Here's Faba, number 6. Looks, won't go. Over to Giacomo. Into the corner for number 7. Ella knows it and can't get it to go. Skyhawks rebound. And we'll have possession. There's a Annecy Palmer. Couldn't corral the pass or couldn't drive the lane. There's number 13, Lamachia. Crowd wanted to travel. Not quite. Pretty close. There's Edgem.
You could see the double team come from the backside there on the post entry, and St. Albert sending that extra defender on Yvonne.
There's Cameron DeClerc with the left-hander. Won't go. There's the rebound by the Skyhawks. And the Cardinals will have possession following that turnover. So Faba will inbound with 3:30 to go. Tie game, 14-14. As you mentioned, you know, the Skyhawks have had both teams have had fantastic tournaments, but they have met each other before twice this year. And they've split that series.
Yep, Bishop Carroll beat them at the Reb tournament here in December, and then St. Albert got them back at the Paul Kane tournament in January, both, funny enough, by about 20 points. So 2 convincing wins won by either team. So at this point, I think a tie game is apropos.
Edgem will shoot 2 as she draws the foul on Sige. 3:19 to go. So this is the rubber match between these 2 clubs. Top 2 teams in the province. Bishop Carroll Cardinals in red. The St. Albert Catholic Skyhawks in white. The number 1 seed. And a little later on, we'll take you through the women's bracket. Some fantastic games, both on the championship and consolation side. Just a fantastic weekend and a lot of entertaining basketball here at the Rebel Gym here at Jasper Place. The ASAA webcast of the Provincial 4A High School Championships, and the drive and the camera lens took the worst of that one. As the ball goes through, that was the drive by number 13.
Nice ball reversal there by St. Albert to create an opportunity, and Bishop Carroll scrambled to defend it very well.
Fresh legs for the Skyhawks now as a couple of subs come in. Here's DeClerc, number 7. Kicks it back out to Sige. She'll stop. Short, wouldn't go. Just as the clock expired. And now the Cardinals, here they come. Isabella Faba. Over to Lamachia. There's the 3-point attempt, won't go. And a nice work down low. DiGiacomo with the offensive board and the putback.
Great balance by DiGiacomo there. She grabbed that board and went up strong, finished very cleanly. That was excellent.
Here's DeMong now. Oh, nice feed down along the baseline, and
you'll see that Bishop Carroll's gone to a half-court zone, and when St. Albert inbounds from the offensive end line, they'll switch to a player-to-player. But they've gone to a zone, and St. Albert has struggled to get the ball inside out of that zone.
Bishop Carroll Cardinals. DiGiacomo now, far side. Kicks it back out. That's Faba, number 10. Here into the corner for number 13, Lamachia. And the 3 won't go, but the Cardinals will retain possession with 14 on the shot clock. There's the attempt by Lamachia.
Really nice dribble penetration there to open up the shooter in the corner.
There's DiGiacomo. Tries to feed the ball down low. And it goes off the fingertips of Edgem, and the Skyhawks will have possession.
There's the 2-3 zone you can see now by Bishop Carroll, extending it out a little bit to chase them up the 3-point line.
Annecy Palmer, she's hit from the outside from downtown earlier. Loose ball. And the Skyhawks will retain possession. That's number 9, Morgan Harris.
I think you're going to see Bishop Carroll match up here and each guard a player off this baseline inbounds. Guarding a baseline inbounds with a zone is sometimes very difficult, so they'll switch to matching up.
There's Palmer with the inbound. Ball goes out of bounds off the Cardinal player. That's number 13, Lamakia. Annecy Palmer will inbound. Kick it back out to Harris, number 9. Down to Palmer in the low post. She's fouled, and she will shoot 2. 1:37 to go here in the first quarter. The ASAA provincial final. Top division, the top 2 teams here in Alberta. The St. Albert Skyhawks and the Bishop Carroll Cardinals of Calgary. Palmer to shoot 2. She makes her first. Cuts the lead to 3.
Sure is a luxury for Coach Diedrich to have a grade 10 come in, and 6 points already for Annecy in the first quarter here, and looking to put in her 7th there, and maybe be the leading scorer at this point for a grade 10 is pretty impressive.
And you got to think, and as a coach, how do you settle a team down when you're coming into a game like this? How do you this isn't an ordinary game. You can talk about maintaining routine. That's one thing, but how do you keep those nerves? How do you keep the butterflies to a minimum? What were some of the things that you would do? I
think you have to talk to your team well in advance of this game. As both these teams worked all year to be here, so you work on dealing with those nerves in tournament finals, city championship games.
There's DeGiacomo. So she's not going to miss from there.
Yeah, so you've done a little bit of that before you get to this point, but you can't recreate this, so it is a bit of a challenge as well.
And the 3 won't go. Madeline drafts in.
That's a big offensive rebound again for Segay down low. She's so tough in there, and she's going to get the putback. She can go through contact and look for the end one play here.
3-point play here potentially for Mimi Segay. Won't go. And a good defensive rebound by Edgem. And Edgem has shown touch from the outside and has done a lot of work in the low post. There's DeGiacomo over to Faba. Lamakia check that, and there's the 3. There's that versatility with Edgem we talked about.
Yeah, Faba came off the ball screen and kicked it to Edgem, and she measured that shot out. They gave it to her, and she knocked it down. That's a great shot.
There's Palmer to DeMond. 14 on the clock. Big block by DeGiacomo, and DeGiacomo is fouled by Madeline Drafts.
It's an example there of DeGiacomo's athleticism. She was able to recover and get a clean block on that shot when it looked like there may have been an advantage for the offense.
As you can hear, a very vocal crowd from all the way up the QE2 from Calgary, and they're up by 5, and you gotta hand it to Josh Fluker and his Cardinal team. They've come in here and have really dominated in this first quarter.
They've made the outside shots, which will force the defense to chase them out, and that will open up some things inside. And like I said, it's been a chess match back and forth. I'm sure Coach Diedrich would like this quarter to end sooner than later, and he can regroup his team.
Emma Dooley checks in for the Cardinals, number 15. There's a shot from the corner. 3-pointer won't go. Rebound by the Skyhawks. Here's Annecy Palmer, kicks it out to DeMond. Good defense by the Cardinals, kicks it out for 3 to Harris. Good rebound by DeMond, feeds it down to Segay. Segay can't. And a battle for the ball, and jump ball called, and the Skyhawks will retain possession. Mimi Segay really working hard in the low post.
0.6 on the quarter clock here. We'll see if St. Albert can get a quick look. With 0.6, you can catch and shoot, but you won't have a chance to take a dribble.
And the shot clock violation, and that brings the first quarter to a close. 23-18. Bishop Carroll has dominated in places in this first quarter. Bit of a seesaw battle, but really, Dave, I think you got to be impressed with the way the Cardinals have have really performed in the low post with Edgem, and as well, they've really shown a balance between outside shooting and working the low post.
You know what, Edgem came out really assertive to start that quarter and gave them a boost just through her play and opening up shots for her teammates, and credit to them for knocking them down. And they had a great first quarter. I'm sure Coach Fluker's exceptionally happy with where they're at. And right now in those quarter breaks, they're making subtle adjustments again. I'll be curious to see if Bishop Carroll comes out in a zone, and some adjustments that Coach Diedrich will make as well. It should be an exciting second quarter coming up.
Now the Skyhawks are known for their defense. If you're John Diedrich, do you go into a press early and see what, see if you can, pressure does two things. It either makes diamonds or bursts pipes. So, if you can get a pressure defense, put a bit of a press on. Do you see Diedrich trying that? Which way do you think he's going to go with this?
I don't think he will in the second quarter. Their team over the course of the year in tough games have been able to just outlast other good teams. An example was the city final where JP gave them a very good first quarter, and they kind of took it to them in the second quarter. And big adjustments like that, you don't want to give a great coach like Coach Fluker over at Bishop Carroll half time to figure that out. So if St. Albert can stay within range here, I anticipate them to stay the course, believe in the systems that they've put in all year, and if there's a bigger adjustment like switching to full court pressure, I would anticipate that maybe in the second half, giving Bishop Carroll maybe less time to adjust to it.
And there is the live shot. You are live from the Rebel Gymnasium, Jasper Place High School. Kevin Donnan along with Dave Oldham. The Alberta Schools Athletic Association webcast of the Provincial 4A Women's Basketball Championships. It is championship Saturday night here from the Rebel Gym, and of course we'll have the men's game immediately following this game. Here's the Skyhawks with the steal. Here's DeMong, and she'll convert that, and that's a big lift to start the quarter, Dave.
That's a great start. Get a stop in a transition basket. They've had a hard time scoring at times, and to get an easy one is a good start for them.
Here's Edgem now. Kicks it over. That's Faba. Number 10 short, grabs her own rebound. Good hustle. Kicks it back out to Lamakia. She thought about shooting, and over to Faba. Oh, and there's a great steal by Morgan Harris, number 9 of the Skyhawks. And she'll wait, and there's DeMong for three, and hits it. And that's the one thing about the Skyhawks, that transition, in terms of, off a turnover, the Skyhawks can be deadly off a turnover.
Their half-court defense creates those opportunities for them, and Bishop Carroll is going to have to settle themselves here and get a shot up in this quarter. They haven't done that yet.
Morgan Harris with the steal. Great defense. Shot clock winding down here. And there's Harris, number 9. She'll drive the lane. She'll stop. Over to DeClercq. There's from the corner, and that one goes off the backboard. Skyhawks will retain possession. 8:27 to go. Tie game, 23 apiece. Here from the Rebel Gymnasium, the ASAA High School Provincial Championship game. So glad you're along with us, no matter where you're joining us from, the ASAA YouTube channel. We want to say a special welcome to our viewers throughout the province, throughout the world, really, and especially those, the Bishop Carroll Cardinal fans who couldn't quite make it all the way up. We want to welcome you to our broadcast, or no matter who's tuning in. We're just so glad that the ASAA is bringing this webcast to you.
Calgary's got a great basketball community. I'm sure there's many tuned in.
Here we go now into the corner. Edgem for three and hits. Right over Taya DeMong.
That was a great shot. Taya challenged that shot a little more than the last one, but Yvonne was able to pull the trigger and knocked it down. That was wonderful.
Here's DeMong now. Thought about driving it out, kicks it out to DeClercq. Feeds it over to DeMong. Here's Harris. Thought about the shot, wouldn't go. And there's the steal by DiGiacomo. What a great play. She'll drive the lane. A big collision with DeMong, and DiGiacomo will shoot too. What a steal and what a play.
DiGiacomo's athleticism is sure shown in the last minute or two there of the first quarter and earlier here in the second quarter. She's long, she's quick, and she's made a difference for them.
26-23 here, the Bishop Carroll Cardinals lead. Number 2, the top 2 teams in the province. Bishop Carroll got here with a big win over Western Canada. They're rivals from Calgary. In St. Albert. Got here with a big win. There's a shot that won't go. St. Albert got here with a win over Jasper Place in a rematch of the city final. There's Harris with the wild right-hander, but she draws the foul, and Morgan Harris having a good second quarter.
Great take by Harris there. She had a little lane on the right-hand side and took advantage of that. The help had to come, and she was fouled for 2 shots.
7:15 to go here in the second quarter. Harris misses her first. And Harris will attempt her second. And can't get that one to go. So Harris misses both of hers. Here's Edgem now bringing the ball up the floor. DeGiacomo now, top of the key. Here's Edgem for 3, won't go. Defensive board by Palmer. And DeClerc will bring the ball up the floor over to Palmer. Harris thought about the 3, kicks it over to DeMong. DeMong draws a crowd. Here's DeClerc. Little screen by DeMong. DeClerc can't score off that, but a great rebound by Dakota Wedman, number 23.
Both teams have really offensive rebounded the ball hard, and it's paid dividends for them.
There's Harris now with a loose ball on the floor. And the Skyhawks will retain possession. 14 on the shot clock. Timeout called, and checking in for the Cardinals is number 15, Emma Dooley, the senior, and the number 13, that's Alex Lamacchia. She's shaken up on the play. I'll tell you, you get in the crowd down there on the floor, and there's elbows and knees and all sorts of stuff flying around.
You know, the girls are playing hard down there, and any loose ball, there's going to be multiple bodies flying for it. It's the 4A championship. You got to leave it out there.
You got to be fearless. It's the last game of the year. The top 2 teams in our province. Morgan Harris checks out of the ball game. An impactful second quarter by Harris. There's a nice little twisting lay-in by Cameron DeClerc, the grade 11 guard. 2-point game. Now there's a big steal by DeMong. And the foul on number 6, Lucy Faba.
Bishop Carroll really relies on that high post entry, and I'm seeing St. Albert sneak up a little bit and look to take that option away. I anticipate Coach Fluker to make an adjustment here. Those high post entries have hurt them the last few minutes.
6:16 to go here. Kevin Donnan along with Dave Oldham, the ASAA High School Provincial Championship. And we want to remind our viewers that the Alberta Schools Athletic Association is a voluntary nonprofit organization that for the past 60-plus years has coordinated programs of athletic activities for Alberta high schools. Their membership includes 373 high schools and represents more than 9,000 school personnel and volunteers while supporting 33 provincial championships directly involving over 8,000 participants. And boy, the ASAA has put on a fantastic show here this week, and they do a tremendous job. As we mentioned, Dave, you're no stranger to this tournament, and the Alberta Schools Athletic Association putting on a great show up here in Edmonton.
You know, they always do a wonderful job. The hosts, and I've been at provincial championships in Edmonton, Red Deer, Calgary, the South. The hosts put in so much time and effort. They're passionate about hosting a great event for their school communities. The ASAA provides wonderful support, and you end up with an atmosphere like this and in a big game and memories that these athletes will have for a long time. So it's an incredible effort by a lot of worthy people.
A lot of people sleeping in tomorrow, I think. A lot of tired volunteers, but they're so passionate and love the game so much. And there's DeClerc with the pass in the lane. There's DeMong, thought about the shot. She's got DeClerc here on the near side. She'll fire up the 3, and it won't go in time before the shot clock, but Cardinals rebound. There's Edgem. There's DeGiacomo. As we mentioned, the Twin Towers here, DeGiacomo and Edgem for the Cardinals. That's number 10, Isabella Faba, and Nice drive of the lane by Isabella Faba, the 5'4" grade 10 guard.
She did a great job of staying balanced on that take and made a tough shot.
DeClerc can't get it to go, and there's the a wise play by DeMong. DeMong nearly got that. Nearly a really heads-up play by DeMong that nearly worked.
I think her toe must have just been on the line because I thought she'd knocked it off the Bishop Carroll player, but her toe may have caught the line.
Veteran play by DeMong, and the inbound. The transition here for the Cardinals following the turnover. 29-25 here, Bishop Carroll leading halfway through the second quarter. There's Edgem. She'll stop. Can't get that one to go, and the Skyhawks will take over.
I'll tell you what, not only did Annecy Palmer score 7 points early, but she's also defending Yvonne Edgem, which is no easy task.
I was just going to say, that's a long night. That is a very long night, and a great game within a game there when you can, and as we talked about off the top of the broadcast, St. Albert, very well known for their defense. That's the one thing that head coach John Diedrich really prides himself on, and this team takes a great deal of pride. Here's the battle here, Sige and Edgem. Sige can't get it to go, and there's the turnover. Ball last touched by Dakota Wedman, who couldn't corral that rebound. Timeout called here by John Diedrich as his team is down by 4. Now taking a look at the huddle here with Bishop Carroll. If you're Josh Fluker, I guess you just stay with the formula, don't you, right now?
I think you have to stay with what's working for them. They're running some cross-screen, down-screen action on the offensive end and getting the ball into the high post. And I think if they can go back and forth between those two significant looks that they have, they're going to continue to give themselves good looks, and credit to their players for knocking down shots when given the opportunity.
And of course, we are from the legendary Jasper Place High School, the Rebel Gymnasium. As we said, if these walls could talk, this floor has seen some amazing athletes, some wonderful games, provincial championships.
Lots of city championships.
Championships. I know that this gym has hosted Universiade qualifying games, and we said right off the top, if these walls could talk, and we're going to, with the ASAA webcast of this provincial championship, we're going to write a little more history here in 2019. Kevin Donnan along with Dave Oldham, the ASAA webcast of the provincial 4A championships. Championship Saturday night, and we're back to live action. Number 10, Isabella Faba, dishes it over to Edgem. Here's to Giacomo, looking. Top of the key. Now she'll go to the far side to Lucy Faba. And there's the three-point attempt by Edgem, won't go. There's a tough rebound by Lucy Faba, could not get the offensive board. Really good battle with DeMong. Here's DeClerc now. She'll kick it back out to Taya DeMong from downtown and hits.
Great penetration and kick by DeClerc. She drew the defense, found Taya, and she knocked down the open shot.
Big triple, and DeMong made no mistake. How will the Cardinals answer back? Cardinals up by 1, 29-28. Isabella Faba, the grade 10 guard, out here with her sister, the grade 12 guard, number 6, Lucy Faba. Big rebound by the Skyhawks, and St. Albert looking to take a rare lead in this game. Here's Cameron DeClerc, won't go. Big rebound by number 8, Kylie Kornak. She's in the far corner. She'll go across the floor to Giacomo, nearly thought steal. Here's Taya DeMong. Baseline, tries to reverse. Rejected by Yvonne Edgem. And now she'll drive the lane, and the block and the travel there. Number 7, Cameron DeClerc, both ends of the floor. Cameron DeClerc having a great second quarter.
She did a great job there. She made Yvonne go off rhythm, and Yvonne got her foot caught and ended up traveling. Well defended by DeClerc.
Skyhawks here trying to take, as we mentioned, this a rare lead here in this game so far. Bishop Carroll, these two teams split 2 games earlier this year in tournament play, and it all comes down to this. 3:11 to go in the first half. Bishop Carroll Cardinals up by 1, and Dave, you said it, boy, you know what? You can feel the intensity in the building. You can feel it growing, and it's a real chess match right now.
Yeah, it's been close the whole game. Couple of small runs by each team, but for the most part, they've been within a couple baskets, and it looks like the half might end fairly close.
Defensive board by the Skyhawks. They bring it up. There's DeMong with the finger roll that won't go. Grabs her own rebound, kicks it out to DeClerc. Over to Palmer. Great ball movement, won't go. There's Harris. And the foul called. Loose ball foul there.
Yeah, non-shooting foul.
A non-shooting foul in the St. Albert contingent. Non-shooting foul. Harris wanted to shoot two. The foul on number 11, Yvonne Edgem. Here's the inbound. There's DeClerc, number 7. She's been a force offensively, and there's that left-handed roller. Big rebound by Sigay, and she cleans up the offensive rebound.
She's so tough on the offensive glass, long, athletic, and very balanced when she takes it back up.
Sigay and Edgem, the battle of the 11s right here. And that's Isabella Faba draws the foul.
I've been really impressed by the tenacity of some of the Bishop Carroll guards. They've been going after offensive rebounds, driving lanes, taking contact. They've done a great job.
Isabella Faba, 5'4", grade 10 guard, going up against Taya DeMong, who's 6 feet, grade 11. You drive the lane, that's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, really impressive to see grade 10s on both teams out here tonight doing very well.
It speaks to the depth of these teams when you can put grade 10s in this situation. There's Morgan Harris with a nice little runner that wouldn't go. Rebound to Giacomo. Just goes to show you the amount of talent in our province. And there's the broken up at the foul called on Sigay. Non-shooting foul, but it speaks to the type of talent and the type of coaching at those youth levels now. That's why you see you can give the reins of a basketball team to a grade 10, to a rookie, because of the development and really the growth of basketball in our province, Dave.
It's wonderful to see the youth come up and go through the community programs and through the junior highs. And I know all these athletes here have a story of their own, but they also have a story of coaches that have worked with them, and lots of success is due to that.
12 on the shot clock. Here's a nice drive by, and the big rejection by DeMong, but DiGiacomo gets the ball back and cleans that up with a little 11-footer. There's Palmer now. The ball down low, and the Skyhawks will retain possession. 18 on the shot clock. A huge block by DeMong, but a friendly bounce for Bishop Carroll on that last one.
Yeah, and big shot for Giacomo. Anytime you get a block like that, it brings the energy up, but she was able to silence that really quick with an 18-foot jump shot.
That's the beauty of basketball. It's a game of momentum that can change in a millisecond. Here we are now, Edgem, number 11. Not a three, but she hits the long two from the top of the key. And Bishop Carroll here with a minute and change to go in the first half. Here's DeClerc for three. And a big triple by the Skyhawks here. Cameron DeClerc, the grade 11 guard, who's done it defensively and offensively. There's a nice drive by number 10, Faba, but Cameron DeClerc really taking over here for the Skyhawks. And another big three. Taya DeMong, and now you're seeing the outside shooting of the Skyhawks.
Yeah, Bishop Carroll's going to have to get back in defensive transition and find those shooters, because they've got multiple ones that'll knock it down.
St. Albert, of course, as you mentioned, Dave, in that city final against JP, they struggled in the first quarter, got off to a slow start, and as you mentioned, they kind of outlasted the team and then got the outside shooting going. Right now, of course, maybe not as quickly as John Diedrich had hoped, but this Skyhawks team is building some momentum as we move towards the second half. There's the left-handed lay-in that won't go. DiGiacomo with the great defensive rebound. And a full clock here. 15 seconds to go in the first half. Skyhawks up by 2. Fantastic first half between Bishop Carroll and St. Albert Catholic. 6 seconds to go. Here's DiGiacomo. Kicks it to the corner. Edgeham for 3 and hits. What a way to finish a wild and entertaining first half, and the Bishop Carroll Cardinals will go into their room with a 1-point lead.
What a spectacular last 2 minutes
play.
that was.
I will tell you.
Kids hitting big shots, getting up and down the floor, playing with energy, both teams sharing the ball well. That was a fantastic display of high school girls basketball.
Well, I will tell you this, what a fantastic first half. And there are the Cardinals with the Cardinal backers, the very boisterous group here. We got both teams' fans in our broadcast position, and what an entertaining half. The Bishop Carroll Cardinals lead 38-36 over the St. Albert Skyhawks. Please stay with us as we will have second half action in just a few moments' time here on Championship Saturday night with the Alberta Schools Athletic Association's webcast presentation of the Provincial 4A Championships from the Jasper Place Gym in Edmonton. And when we return, we will have second half action as we get set to crown the women's 4A provincial champion. Back in just a few moments. Welcome back to this Alberta Schools Athletic Association High School Provincial Championship game. The 4A Provincial High School Championship game between the St. Albert Skyhawks and the Bishop Carroll Cardinals of Calgary. Kevin Donnan along with Dave Oldham. And we're taking a look at some of the highlights here, Dave, of an incredibly entertaining first half. St. Albert, the number 1 seed, Bishop Carroll, the number 2 seed. These two teams have not disappointed one bit.
It's been an exceptionally high level of basketball in that first half. Both teams going on runs, both teams really sharing the ball well, and I think it's appropriate that it's close. You can see Bishop Carroll operating out of the high post, offensive rebounding for both teams. You can see Mimi going up there, being very aggressive. I think rebounding is going to be a big story moving forward, and what a half for Yvonne Edgem. She's taking what the St. Albert defense is giving her, whether it's the outside shot as we see here, or the inside opportunities, the post-ups. She needs to continue to play that, I think, very well to keep Bishop Carroll in the lead here. And St. Albert really gets going out of defense and transition. You can see Taya DeMong there with the feed, and this was another transition. I think it was the very next play where they came down and hit Taya for a wide open three. And St. Albert lives and dies off that defensive energy and the transition that comes with it. Cameron DeClerc always gets to the rim, has a really nice soft touch with her left hand. And, the Bishop Carroll guards playing very well, offensive rebounding and giving them that secondary scoring that they're going to need to win this basketball game.
Now, the one thing that we saw as the first half drew to a close was that St. Albert was starting to get hot in terms of their outside shooting. In terms of, do you see the Skyhawks trying to, really start hitting threes, or do you see them, going to that half court, in terms of, use the clock, go to half court basketball? Dave, what are you anticipating here in these, these first 5 minutes of the third quarter?
I think St. Albert's going to come out with another level of defensive intensity. I'll be interested to see how Bishop Carroll comes out and attacks. They've got some very nice looks. Coach Fluker's prepared them well for the first half, and we'll see what they come out in here. Looks like they've matched up to start.
Here we are live now. Seagate kicks it over to Palmer, into the corner. Taya DeMong for 3. And that's exactly, we talked about it just 10 seconds ago. Can St. Albert, can they maintain that momentum that they started? And so far, Taya DeMong has got them off to the right kind of start. Here we go now, Faba. Isabella Faba, the rookie, big block, and now they'll run the floor. Here's Seagate with the lay-in, won't go. And it goes off Annecy Palmer here, but here's the big 3-point. Here's the big triple by DeMong right off the start.
I tell you, and she doesn't need a lot of room to get it off. That was defended well, and she just shot straight over top of it.
And of course, Bishop Carroll ended the first half with a big 3-pointer. And it was 38-36 at the half.
You can see St. Albert's defensive energy is up a little bit. They had a steal and missed the layup and a tip out of bounds there. They're playing hard, and we'll see what Carroll can bring to counter.
And as you mentioned, Skyhawks, their offense is really driven by their defense. They love to score points off the turnover. Down the baseline, it's number 6. Heads up play by Lucy Faba there. Bit of a veteran play there. That's a wise, great way to draw a foul in a big game like this.
I've been so impressed with Lucy today. She's been incredibly aggressive, knocked down a couple shots, and played very well for Bishop Carroll.
And she'll shoot 2. Sister Isabella, 5'4", grade 10 guard. Here we are in the opening 58 seconds of this second half. So glad you're along with us. The Alberta Schools Athletic Association High School Provincial Championship, the 4A women's title here from Jasper Place High School in Edmonton. 1-point game, seesaw battle here. Here are the Skyhawks in white. DeClerc now with the reverse. Won't go. Big rebound by Morgan Harris. Palmer now drives the lane, and the left-hander goes.
Annecy does a great job of attacking and staying balanced. She can finish with her left and right hand. That was a great take.
Faba to DiGiacomo. Bit of a miscommunication there. Turnover by, and there's another turnover. as ASAA Palmer, and a big steal by DeMong. Big rejection, and the block by Edgem here. What a sequence here, Dave.
Finished it off with 2 top players going at it there, and Edgem met her at the point of release, and an incredible block by Yvonne.
ASAA Palmer will inbound with 14 on the shot clock. What a battle here from the Rebel Gymnasium, a packed house here at Jasper Place High School. So glad you're along with us, no matter where you're joining us from. Top 2 teams in Alberta going head-to-head here in this championship bracket. It's been a wonderful weekend of basketball, both on the consolation side, the championship side, and that's number 23, Dakota Wedman. Couldn't handle the basketball, nor could Palmer, but DeMong comes up with it, and John Diedrich he's going to be a little bit frustrated with that, a little bit of a scrambled effort there by the Skyhawks.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of a scramble on both teams here, and I think Bishop Carroll will come down and try and get something a little more settled and get a good quality shot here out of this possession.
Well, and you've played a really competitive first half. You know, that was a battle. You come out of the room, you know, the butterflies are still there. You know, the energy is still there, and there's a great feed down low that won't go. Edgem grabbed her own rebound, couldn't get it to go, and here's Morgan Harris. Feeds it over to DeClerc. She'll try that twisting left-hander. And there's that spinning lay-in by DeClerc. She should patent that thing.
She does a great job creating her own shot off that dribble. It's remarkable.
There's a great steal by DeMong. There's that defense by the Skyhawks now. 3-point lead for St. Albert. Here's Harris. Wedman now will drive the lane with the nice lay-in. A good defense by Ella Nosen. You've got to give the credit. Ella Nosen, you know, the grade 11 forward on that play for the Cardinals. You know, she did everything a defender could do, but what a great finish by the Skyhawks.
Yeah, Tea's really built some momentum here for her St. Albert Skyhawks. You can see here hitting that corner 3. You know, she's an inside-out player, much like Yvonne for Bishop Carroll. You're going to have to challenge her on the outside, and if you do that, you're going to have to collapse and help off the dribble penetration as well.
3 minutes and 40 seconds into this third quarter. We talked about would St. Albert start, and you can feel the Skyhawks. They seemed a little reluctant in that first half to pull the trigger from beyond the arc. Things have settled down now for their shooters.
They sure seem more comfortable. They're balanced. They're getting shots out of the right situations off dribble penetration and a little bit of inside out. You can see Tea there with a really nice defensive play coming around Yvonne. And you know what, when they get their feet set, these kids can shoot the ball, and a great choice there. You can see Yvonne didn't come to help, so Dakota took the ball right to the rim. If Yvonne comes in that situation, they're going to kick to Tea, and you know, Bishop Carroll has to pick their poison in that situation.
Both teams have the exceptional ability just to move the ball when they get into the half court. Great ball movement by both teams. Here's Edgem now. There's that ball movement there, and a big block by DeMong, but the foul called as DiGiacomo went for the lay-in. DeMong, and yeah, you got to call that one.
Yeah, you can, and with Mimi out of the game for St. Albert, Sige out of the game, you can see DiGiacomo and Edgem now are going to play off of each other with their size advantage, and that was an example of a little bit of a high-low there.
And DeMong at the, at 6 feet, she's got to take on a little more responsibility in the low post. I mean, she has that ability. DeMong has, she has the talent. She's a provincial player. She can play with her back to the basket, and she can shoot from the outside. But I know that John Diedrich would love to have Mimi Sige back in the lineup as soon as he can. Here's DeClerc now. Over to Palmer, here on the near side to DeMong. Defended by Edgem, and there's DeMong with the lay-in, and what a great effort. A little bit of a cagey effort there.
What it takes. She had a little hesitation and got the defense flat-footed and turned and attacked the rim. That was excellent.
Cardinals thought she was going to dish, but DeMong took it to the lane and converted. Here's DiGiacomo. Cardinals down 5, 6.5. Edgem short with that one. There's the battle, and A good play by DeMong as well on the defensive side, as really Edgem had really no choice but to touch that ball and go out of bounds. And the Skyhawks will take over possession with a 5-point lead. Kevin Donnan, along with Dave Oldham, the ASAA webcast of the Provincial 4A Women's Championship game, high school basketball. And there's the little left-handed baby hook by number 13, Isabella Cuchis.
Great defense there by Lamachia, staying with her and forcing Cuchis into a difficult shot.
Alex Lamachia, the grade 12 guard. Here's Edgem now. Oh, and there's a big play by Annecy Palmer. She'll drive with the left hand, and a big play by the rookie.
You know what I see right now is Bishop Carroll standing around a little bit when Yvonne has the ball. They're going to have to get a little bit more dynamic into a couple of their sets.
And you're right now, St. Albert, as we mentioned, now up by 7. Skyhawks can sense the momentum here. DeClark goes coast to coast, untouched on that lay-in, and Josh Fluker is looking for a timeout at some point.
Yeah, St. Albert's on a big run right now, and they just kind of keep coming at you, and if you take any mental breaks, they're going to go on a run like they have now. I think Bishop Carroll needs to settle out, go to their best look offensively, maybe Yvonne on the high post, and get a good quality shot off.
Loose ball foul we believe it was Cameron DeClerc. Checking out of the game for the Skyhawks, number 13, Isabella Cuchis. Checking in for the Skyhawks is number 12, Kaya Vandermeer, and a big turnover for St. Albert. So you can sense the momentum starting to shift, Dave. You know, this has been a seesaw battle.
Yeah,
but the Cardinals have to respond now.
Yeah, and I understand Josh not wanting to take a timeout this early, but if St. Albert scores here, he may be forced into it.
There's DeMong down a little baseline there. Won't go. There's Harris. And the turnover here. Here's number 6, Lucy Faba. She'll settle things down, and the Cardinals will go to half court. Over to Lamachia. Here's DiGiacomo now. Thought about the shot. Kicks it over to Faba. Good screen by DiGiacomo. And the three, well short. Good defense by DeMong. And the rebound by Harris. Pressed by the Cardinals. And the reverse won't go. Faba. So Bishop Carroll now with the aggressive defense, Dave.
Yeah, great to see Bishop Carroll fight back a little bit with some tough defense, creating a turnover and another opportunity for them to see that ball go in the basket.
Here's Sophia DiGiacomo down the baseline. Good dish. Kicks back outside, and off the window is Isabella Faba. A big shot, big triple by the grade 10 guard. Cuts the lead to 6, 51-45. Here's a great battle within the game. DeMong against Edgem. And there's Harris with the battle, and the ball goes off the Cardinals, that loose ball. But there's a battle within the battle. There's DeMong against Edgem. Two outstanding players.
I think probably two of the top players in our province, and to see them go head-to-head in a 4A basketball championship, it's pretty special.
What a treat.
Pretty special. Hey, great hustle there on that last play by Isabella Faba. Tough break, ended up going out of bounds off of her, but you appreciate the hustle on that.
8 seconds on the shot clock for St. Albert on this possession with 4 minutes to go. Up by 6. Shot clock winding down. DeMong's got to get the shot away, and it wouldn't go, and it is a shot clock violation. DeMong saying it touched the rim. John Diedrich is saying the same. He's saying that ball touched. Maybe if we can get a replay, but Cardinals will get the possession on the shot clock violation. Far side now. Here's Edgem for the Cardinals, and loose ball.
You can see Bishop Carroll ran Yvonne off a ball screen. She attacked, just lost a little control there, but that's another way to get Yvonne going is through the ball screen.
Annecy Palmer now, number 5. There's Harris, number 9, will bring it up the floor. And there's the lay-in by Harris that won't go, and the Cardinals with the defensive board. Here's DiGiacomo over to Faba. Faba now. DiGiacomo, top of the key. Here's Edgem. 10 on the shot clock. Here on the near side. There's the dish to DiGiacomo down the baseline. Big rebound by Edgem, the offensive board. And there's Edgem once again showing that the good work down low and as well the deft shooting touch too.
And a really smart play by Yvonne to go to the weak side there. That's where most rebounds will land, and she got an easy one.
There's ASAA Palmer blocked after picking up her own rebound. 4-point game. Under 3 to go here in this third quarter. Bishop Carroll Cardinals of Calgary in red, Skyhawks in white. St. Albert Catholic School. The 2019 Metro Athletic Edmonton City champions, the 4A champions. Here's Harris now. ASAA Palmer to DeClerc, number 7. John Diedrich would like to see her get hot. There's a beautiful feed by DeClerc, and there's Dakota Wedman on that backdoor cut.
Great cut by Wedman, nice feed, and an easy basket. You take those anytime you can get them. Well done.
6-point lead, Skyhawks. What a game here, Cardinals. Wedman backs up to Giacomo, can't get the lay-in to go, and she takes the hard foul.
The combination of DiGiacomo and Edgem right now are creating challenges for St. Albert on the offensive glass. You can see Coach Diedrich putting Mimi back in here to maybe counter that.
Seagate coming back in, also coming in for the Skyhawks. Number 8, Kylie Kornak, the grade 12 guard. At 5'10", this is really, you could say this is the Skyhawks, a bigger lineup, you know, a little bit in terms of, you know, they have a little bit more height on the floor right now. So it looks like John Diedrich's more content, you know, with a 6-point lead. Let's do a little bit of half-court basketball.
Well, and I think he doesn't want to give Bishop Carroll any easy opportunities right now, and offensive rebounds will do that. So I think he's gone to a bigger lineup to take away that opportunity.
Good defensive rebound by DiGiacomo on the missed 3 by the Skyhawks. Cardinals have possession. 1.5 minutes to go. Bishop Carroll down by 6. There's the drive of the lane that won't go.
Great take, just couldn't get it to fall. That was very, very nice aggressive right-hand drive.
Isabella Faba, here's DeClerc all alone from 3, and a little too much on that. There's a good outlet. Here's Faba, the grade 12 guard. Point guard for this Bishop Carroll Cardinals team. It's her sister, number 10, Isabella Faba. And there's a nice lay-in by Lucy Faba, but just can't get it to fall. Here's DeClerc, and too much on that pass intended for Morgan Harris here on this near side.
You can see fatigue, you know, late in the third quarter. Neither coach has really wanted to call a timeout. These players have been going hard for over 9 minutes without much of a break, and a little bit short on the layup. Errant passes that's going to creep in here.
And of course, top 2 teams, the 1 and 2 seeds here in this tournament. There's a big drive by Edgem, gets her own rebound, and all game long she has been a force on the offensive boards.
A little isolation for her there in the high post, and she ripped and went and got her own rebound and made a nice basket.
Here on the near side, here's Harris. She's trying to drive the lane, kicks it out to Wedman, number 23. Can't get it to go off the window. There's Seagate driving. And the offensive foul called on Seagate. And talk about the battle. And Seagate gave the defender, gave DiGiacomo a little bit of a look going back up the floor.
Yeah, that's a big call. That's a big call. Right away, Seagate subbed out of the game. DeMong back in to finish the quarter.
Seagate frustrated with that call. Full clock, 10 seconds to go. Bishop Carroll down by 4. They ended the half with a big 3. Oh, and a big block by DeClerc here to end. There's the big 3, and it won't go. Your score after 3 quarters, the St. Albert Skyhawks, 53-49. But boy, are we in for a great final 10 minutes, Dave.
What an unbelievable third quarter to back up that first half. You know what? Bishop Carroll did a great job hanging in when St. Albert went on a relatively strong run. They got settled, they got a few stops defensively, found a way to get a couple easy baskets, and it could have easily gone away from them. You can see there Cameron DeClercq with the lay-in.
And both teams really shot well from beyond the arc in that quarter.
Yeah, and that three you just saw on the screen right there was really big. That's what stopped the big run that St. Albert had by Faba.
Isabella Faba, the grade 10 guard.
And that defensive energy from St. Albert, again, creating transition opportunities for them. You can see ASAA Palmer here with the take to the basket, and a really nice finish with her left hand.
And as we mentioned, you know, the defense of St. Albert drives the offense on that transition. You know, when they get a steal or they get, you know, they get a rejection, the Skyhawks, you know, really want to score. I mean, every team does, but the Skyhawks live, you know, based on getting points off turnovers, and they've done that in this third quarter as they were down by 2, 38-36 at the half. They've come back here and taken over 53-49 as we enter this final quarter. And Dave, it has lived up to the hype. It's lived up to the billing. 1 versus 2. Boy, are we in for a thriller to end this 4A championship.
It's been a spectacular 3 quarters, and I anticipate much the same here in the 4th. Bishop Carroll starting with the ball.
So glad you're along with us on this Alberta Schools Athletic Association webcast of the Provincial 4A Championships. There's a big steal by the Cardinals. They're down 4. They take away the possession by St. Albert. Here's Edgem against DeMong, and the errant pass looking for DeGiacomo and St. Albert.
Tried a little high-low there, but Dakota Webman did a great job fronting that, making the pass entry pass very difficult.
And Edgem and DeMong, this is going to be the battle these final 10 minutes. Oh, and there's some good defense by Faba, the rookie, on Morgan Harris. Here's DeClercq looking, gonna drive the lane, big block, but the foul called on Edgem. We'll take a look here, Dave. And just enough, I think she just got
on the wrist, maybe.
Just enough on that left wrist there. But Cameron DeClercq, and I mean, in a game, you know, we talked about it is a chess match, and in a game as competitive as this one, it's going to come down to, just those little nuances, and a big foul called here, and a good foul to draw by Cameron DeClercq.
Great take by Cameron.
And you got to give credit to Edgem on defense too. I mean, we're talking, it's a game of inches. It's literally, it's going to come down. It's going to be that close tonight.
Absolutely. Yvonne's a great shot blocker and went up to get one and got called on a foul, but she's got to keep being aggressive on the defensive end.
And there's DeClercq, short with her second. Good rebound by Dakota Webman. St. Albert retains possession, and a couple of players will check in for the Skyhawks. Number 4, Isabella Valerio, the grade 10 guard. We'll see her first action.
St. Albert's certainly gone a little bit deeper in their bench throughout the game. We'll see if that pays off as the fourth quarter draws and fatigue sets in.
There's a nice little cut again by ASAA Palmer, but the wild left-hander wouldn't go. Good feed by DeMong, but the Skyhawks can't convert. 1 minute gone here in the fourth and final quarter. ASAA Provincial 4A Women's Championship game, and there's that hustle defense there by St. Albert. DeMong and Harris both going for the ball, and there you can see St. Albert and John Diedrich, they're starting to double edge them.
Yeah, they're fronting with the primary defender in DeMong, and then bringing the backside help. That time it was Harris.
There's Faba now, the grade 10 guard, the rookie. Good defense by Harris to get that rebound. Here near side, it's number 4, Valerio. There's ASAA Palmer from three-point range that won't go. Another big rebound by Dakota Webman.
That's 2 in the last minute for Dakota. She's come in and give him a real spark. Here's
Harris now. She'll kick it back out. Good ball movement by the Skyhawks. 14 on the shot clock. There's a nice feed down low by ASAA Palmer, and Harris makes no mistake.
Great feed by Palmer. She's gone to her left a lot this game, and she stayed balanced there, made a wonderful decision to get that ball for an easy lay-in.
Skyhawks now up by 6. There's the three-point attempt, and it nearly goes. Big rebound by Faba, number 10. That's a grade 10 with a rookie guard, and big foul on Harris, and that's Lucy Faba driving the lane here, and she takes a hard foul. DeMong and Harris combining.
That was a hard take, and both teams have guards that are really offensive rebounding the ball well right now.
And I'm impressed by, I know we've got Lucy Faba shooting her first of 2, but, you know, the little sister Isabella, I'll tell you, talk about, you know, giving the reins to a young player, and Isabella Faba is not afraid to pull the trigger and has really been a force in terms of bringing the ball and driving the ball up the floor for the Cardinals.
Absolutely, and I would say historically, you know, when you get to this game, you're veteran laden. You have a lot of grade 12, but both these teams heavily rely on grade 10s and 11s, and this experience is going to bode well for both teams moving forward into next year.
Here we go. Now there's the left-handed lay-in, but it goes good defense by Lucy Faba there. Ball goes off Faba's hand on the drive by ASAA Palmer, but it sure speaks to the level of talent that we have, you know, throughout the province. And I'll tell you that there's something in the water in St. Albert. Boy, that's a basketball hotbed for sure.
Yeah, John Diedrich has put together a wonderful program for many, many years, and I know he's worked hard. They're a 3A school that plays at the 4A level, and they've battled with the big teams for a long time.
DeMong too strong on the lay-in, so Cardinals will take over. There we go. Edgem short on that three-point attempt. And it's a 5-point game. There's the pass. The rebounds of the friendly bounce by the Skyhawks. Big steal by Faba, and she'll run the floor down to Edgem, off DeMong, then off Edgem. And the Skyhawks will have possession here. So quite a sequence here in terms of fast break basketball for both sides.
Yeah, great hustle by DeMong to get back and get a hand on that. And Bishop Carroll wasn't quite able to get the right spacing in that transition.
7 minutes to go here. Fourth quarter. There's the drive by Palmer, but rejected by Sophia DiGiacomo. And the big turnover by the Cardinals, and ooh, that was close to a walk there. And there's Edgem for 3. Big triple by Edgem, and what a lift for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's a big shot. They've let her shoot that the last couple times, and she made one now. We'll have to see how they defend her the next time down.
2-point game now, 55-53. St. Albert Skyhawks, there's DeMong. Can't get it to go off the window. DiGiacomo. She's got to be close to double figures in rebounds for sure. DiGiacomo all the way across the floor. Isabella Faba too strong, and Edgem with the lay-in. DeMong playing defense took big collision, and DeMong was looking for the offensive foul, won't get it. And we have a tie game, 55-55. ASAA Palmer can't get the 3 to go.
Bishop Carroll playing with a lot of energy right now. They've made a great run to tie this game up.
Will Bishop Carroll get their first lead since the half when they led 38-36, 55-55. Don't move a muscle. The ASAA webcast of this women's championship game. Faba pulls up and hits off the window, and Bishop Carroll has their first lead of the second half, 57-55. There's ASAA Palmer, and it won't go, but she will shoot too. And wow, I mean, the intensity level is dialing up, Dave. 5 minutes, we're almost at the halfway point of this fourth quarter, and you can feel it in the building. We got a packed house and a great game.
Yeah, this has been spectacular. Bishop Carroll stormed back. They were down 5 only 45 seconds ago, and they've stormed back. Yvonne's been the key to that. And the Faba sisters playing wonderful as well, hitting a shot there to give them the lead. You'll see here Yvonne, again, offensive rebound, and we said that right at the start of the game was going to be a huge factor. No Mimi on the floor right now. Yvonne's going to get a lot of second chance opportunities. Here's another one, I think, from a little bit earlier. So it'll be curious to see what Coach Diedrich does now with his lineup and how he wants to match up. And Coach Fluker knows that there's going to be a chess match going on here, and they've had a great run. So we'll see if they come out. Maybe they go back to the zone for a possession or two. I don't know, but I know they have a lot of tools in the arsenal.
There's a step back three by Ejim, and I'll tell you, DeGiacomo on the defensive boards, and you've got Ejim on the offensive boards. If you are John Diedrich, you're down by 2. You're at the midway point. You've controlled things for this second half. What are you telling your players right now if you're John Diedrich, down by 2 halfway through the fourth quarter?
I think you go back to your identity, and that defense has driven their team all year. They're going to have to defend Edgem very aggressively. I think they're going to have to bring that double from the backside and get out of her on the three ball. Make someone else beat you right now. The Faba sisters have done well to do that in the last couple minutes, and to get the Bishop Carroll with a little lead here.
ASAA Palmer back to live action. She will shoot her first of 2 and will make her first. Cut the lead to 1. So glad you're along with us. ASAA High School Provincial Championship 4A women's game. This is doubleheader. Championship Saturday night. Kevin Donnan along with Dave Oldham. Jasper Place High School, the host of the 2019 4A Provincial Basketball Championships. We will have the men's championship game will follow this contest, and a big steal there by Mimi Sige, who's she was on the bench for a number of minutes, but she's going to play a big factor in the last half of this fourth quarter. You're going to hear her name.
Absolutely, she's going to be a big force for them on both ends of the floor.
Foul called. Lucy Faba, non-shooting foul. But you can sense the excitement. We've got, both the supporters, the fans from both sides. Boisterous group from Calgary. There's the loose ball. There's Sige.
Yeah, nice little screening action there. Mimi set a cross screen on the inbound and then flashed open, and they were just about able to get her the ball.
ASAA Palmer will inbound. Tie game. 11 on the shot clock. Palmer now going to look for that cut to DeClerc, and too strong on that lay-in. Here's Lucy Faba now. Faba, the grade 12 guard. Of course, remember, this is for all the grade 12s, this is their last high school basketball game ever, and you can sense the excitement. 4 minutes to go. Skyhawks will run. Damong on the lay-in. Can't get the layup to go. Big defensive rebound by Ejim. They will come back. And Ejim, that was a case of Sige trying to draw the offensive foul. Couldn't do it. Seesaw affair here. Cardinals up by 2. 3:50 to go. Sige now number 11. Thinks about driving. DeClerc, step back 3. Hits it. Big triple by the Skyhawks. You now take the lead.
Huge shot by DeClerc, penetrate kick, and she didn't even hesitate. She pulled the trigger and knocked it down.
DeClerc, who's been a force on defense, has hit a couple of big threes. Speaking of a force on defense, to Giacomo. She feeds it over to Faba. Here's Lamacchia to DeGiacomo. There's the three-point attempt by the Cardinals, won't go. In and out. Here's Harris. Got a number of big rebounds. 3 minutes to go. Rebel Gym. West Edmonton, where would you rather be than right here with us? The ASAA webcast. There's Damong, steps up, can't get it to go. Big rebound by Sige, gets it to go. And the Skyhawks now have a 3-point lead with under 3 minutes to go.
DeGiacomo hasn't had much of a break in this fourth quarter, and due to foul trouble, Sige did a little bit extra energy there for her to get that offensive rebound.
Isabella Faba to Lamacchia along the far side. Goes across the floor to Lucy Faba. Thought about the 3. Good defense by Palmer.
You can see
Palmer commits the foul.
You'll see here that, well, you didn't see it here, but Palmer helped down to double Yvonne Edgem, and they skipped the ball across, and she attacked off that. So Yvonne forcing St. Albert to double team, and Faba with a great take.
Faba now can't make her first. Trying to hit her second to cut this lead to 2. 2:34. Dave, I got to admit, you know what? You gotta love this.
This is fun.
This is March Madness Alberta style.
Yeah, there must be 2,000 people in this gym supporting these athletes, and they're giving it everything they got. 2-point game, 2.5 to go. Let's see how it unfolds.
You could not write a better script than what we've got going right here at the Rebel Gym, Jasper Place High School. The ASAA webcast. 10 on the shot clock. Palmer now to Clark along that far side. Long way. She's going to drive with the left hand. Won't go. Good defense by DiGiacomo. Big steal by Harris.
Just about got that one.
And here's Faba now. She'll settle things down. Bishop Carroll down by 2. 10 on the shot clock. Edgem tries for 3.
She had good rhythm on that, just couldn't quite get it to the rim.
Here's to Clark now. St. Albert Catholic High School. Skyhawks up by 2. Oh, and there's a beautiful feed down low to Seagay from DeClerc, and the timeout called by Josh Fluker.
Yeah, let's have a look here. Somehow Seagay popped open on the backside, and it was wide open. What a fantastic look for the Skyhawks.
Here we go with this, with our replay.
Oh,
here.
there's a play a little earlier.
There's a nice feed down low. The great feed, and there's
Great.
Morgan Harris looking over at the rookie saying, that's a nice dish.
Yeah, Faba with the pull-up jump shot there. That was a big shot for Isabella Faba.
And there's the, I mean, you want to talk intensity. Boy, there's been some collisions. There's,
Yeah.
you know, the intensity between these two teams. This is what happens. This is the byproduct when you get the two best teams in the province going head to head. It's like a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, no, it's been a fantastic basketball game. Both teams have played very well, and we've got a minute 42. St. Albert with a 4-point lead, but they're not going to rest on that. They need a couple more scores here to have the opportunity to finish this game
And
off.
here is the capacity crowd from the Rebel Gym. These two teams have met twice before this season in tournament play. You mentioned that St. Albert lost in the Reb tournament.
Yeah.
And then they met again in the Paul Kane tournament.
You bet. 2 20-point games and set up for the classic that we've had tonight.
This rubber match here that St. Albert leads by 4. 1:36 to go. Great defense, great steal by DeMong, and the foul by Lucy Faba. Not in the bonus, but what a steal by DeMong.
Great steal by DeMong. Faba's got to go after that ball. You know, she made contact there, so that is a foul, but what a hustle play by both players.
Here we go now. St. Albert, the Skyhawks, up by 4. Checking in for Bishop Carroll, Ella Nosen. Grade 11 forward. Look at the hustle by the Cardinals here. Big push off by Harris there. Cardinals wanted a foul.
They've upped their defensive intensity.
Here we go now. Minute 15. 10 on the shot clock. Harris over to Palmer now. Steps up. Won't go.
Great defensive possession by Bishop Carroll. They came out, pressured the ball, forced St. Albert into a real tough shot.
1:11 to go. 4-point game. And the timeout called. We believe the timeout called by, it is timeout called by St. Albert, by John Diedrich. And if you're John Diedrich, what are you, as we take a look at the replay from earlier with Edgem scoring that important bucket, but if you're John Diedrich, what are you telling your Skyhawks right now?
You know, I think you have to predict that the ball's going to go through Yvonne. So I think you start deciding how are you going to defend that. Are you going to defend her one-on-one? Are you going to bring backside help? She's likely to play out of the high or low post, but she's also faced up from the three-point line tonight. So I would start focusing on how we're going to defend her. She's the key player. Remembering that the Faba sisters, Sophia's played great tonight. She's hit some big shots. But everything has gone through Yvonne. So, you know, you have to decide how you're going to defend her and work out from there.
And here we go. 1:11 to go. The St. Albert Skyhawks up by 4. Women's 4A Provincial Championship game live from the Jasper Place, the Rebel Gymnasium. Where would you rather be than right here? So glad you're along with us, and we want to thank the Alberta Schools Athletic Association and Jasper Place High School for putting on such a tremendous show in the women's bracket. This is the final game of the 2019 4A Provincial Championships, and we're so glad you're along with us. Here we go now. Back to live action. 1:11 Cardinals down. Great pass. Great feed down
What an inbound
low.
play. What an inbound play. Edge them over the top, and they made a wonderful pass.
Cardinals cut the lead to 2. St. Albert up by 2. Big steal, the jump ball. And the Skyhawks will retain possession. Isabella Faba, the grade 10 rookie, making a veteran play. She nearly seized a huge opportunity.
That was a great defensive effort.
Skyhawks up by 2. Morgan Harris, final minute now. Here's Palmer now. Left hand won't go. Cardinals now down by 2. 50 seconds to go. Here's Edgem driving the lane. Won't go, but draws the foul and will shoot 2.
See a nice little hesitation crossover there from Edgem to get to the rim. DeMong went after the block and probably caught her with a little bit of the body, and Edgem's going to shoot 2.
Yvonne Edgem can tie this game if she can convert both of her foul shots. Misses her first. Boy, this is where the heart starts to pound, Dave. 51 seconds to go. Edgem again gets her second to go, and the timeout called. And I'll tell you, Dave, you've been in this situation as a coach. You know, you try not to get wrapped up in it as a coach, but at the same time, both of these coaches are just loving this right now. This is what it's all about. This is, you called it. You said this was going to be a chess match, and it has been exactly that. 2 great coaches, 2 great teams.
Absolutely. Both teams came in very well prepared, and you come in with a game plan, but it's all about the tweaks and the changes that you make within that game. Both coaches have done an outstanding job, and the athletes have responded. Coaches can have a game plan, but if the athletes don't come out and play with passion and execute and make those adjustments along the way, you certainly don't get the quality of basketball that we've had tonight. This has been an incredible final.
And let's congratulate all 16 teams who were here this weekend, no matter, you know, whether you were the number 1 seed like St. Albert or the 16th seed. You know what? Every team who gets a chance to play in a tournament like this, it's such a worthwhile experience for the athletes. It's an exciting time. And you know what? All 16 teams have had outstanding seasons, and we certainly want to congratulate everyone associated with this tournament. And it's not over yet. 51 seconds. Here we go to Clerk, and that pass into DeMond won't go. 1-point game now. Cardinals possession, down by 1. 40 seconds to go. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Edgem. 24-second differential, and that 3 won't go. De Klerk with the big rebound.
That's going to be Bishop Carroll ball.
And
St.
it
Albert
is
got the last
Bishop
one.
Carroll ball. As Edgem in there for the fight. 30 seconds to go. 14. There's a 16-second differential on the clock. Bishop Carroll down by 1, and Faba will inbound. Cardinals down by 1, 64. They trail 64-63. There's Edgem with the nice play, and the foul down low. And the veteran play, look at that. That's the grade 10 right there with the veteran play down low. And this grade 10, Isabella Faba, has a chance to put the Cardinals up.
They often say the inbounder can be the most dangerous player, and that's what happened there. Vaughn found the inbounder for a great scoring opportunity.
I'll tell you, ice water in her veins, the rookie. Isabella Faba can put the Cardinals up by 1. And does. Cardinals up by 1. Timeout called. What a classic, Dave. We've got 28.2 seconds left. Bishop Carroll, as we said, you know, the top 2 teams. But, I mean, let's face it, the tournament that St. Albert's had, this could be considered an upset. We don't want to diminish anything about Bishop Carroll, but let's face it, St. Albert has been the dominant team in this tournament. But these 2 teams, you know, you can throw all of that out the window because these 2 teams have battled all season long.
You know, when you get to championship games like this, I think that point differential or the advantage that one team might have coming in can really be diminished because of the environment, because of the moment. and both teams have responded exceptionally well. I think Yvonne Edgem's had an outstanding game for Bishop Carroll like she needed to, and she's had a supporting cast that has come in and knocked down shots and made good plays and played with a lot of heart defensively. And we said earlier everything's going to go through Edgem, but that was a little misdirection on that last basket because it started with Edgem and then they hit the backside for an open opportunity. And we'll see what St. Albert comes out with here.
We got a little Van Hagar playing right now. That's what we're talking about right now. 28.2 seconds. Here we go. Cameron DeClerc, D inbound for the Skyhawks. Down by 1. Seagay now will drive the lane and fouled. The hard foul by Edgem, and Seagay is shaken up on the play.
Yeah, Edgem got the ball in the
Big-time
inbound.
collision, and Seagay pops up, and a good show of sportsmanship there by Edgem on
Absolutely.
that hard foul. So you know what, like I say, that's what it's all about. You know what, you compete, you work, and you give it, you lay it all out there. But great show of sportsmanship by the Cardinals, and it's a war out there. You know, there's no two ways about it. This has been a fantastic finish. Here's Seagay to shoot 2. Sorry, Dave.
No, Edgem had to go for that block. You can't let her get to the rim uncontested. Edgem or Seagay at the free throw line now.
66-65. Skyhawks lead. 25 seconds to go. There's a 1 second differential on the clock. Here's Edgem now. 17 to go. Cardinals down by 1. Here's Edgem now. She'll cross over, drive the lane. Big steal by Devon. Here come the Skyhawks. Here's DeClerc. St. Albert will try to close this out. And the St. Albert Skyhawks have won the Women's Provincial 4A Championship at the Jasper Place Gymnasium in Edmonton. What a classic, Dave. What an absolute classic. We talked about the Skyhawk defense, and at the end of the game, that's what it was all about. What a finish, Dave.
What an unbelievable finish. The Skyhawks coming up with a turnover, getting away from the jump ball situation, clearing it out, and DeClerc able to chase the ball down the floor. And what better way to end the championship than dribbling it out to your offensive court, and a spectacular game by both teams. Well deserved by St. Albert, but full credit to Bishop Carroll and Coach Fluker and everything they brought
what a performance
to the game
by
as
Bishop
well.
Carroll tonight. You know, and what a performance by the Skyhawks. You know, these two teams, they were 1 and 2 in this tournament for a reason. And you know what? You know, they did not disappoint. And hats off to Josh Fluker and his squad for a tremendous tournament. I mean, it's going to sting a little bit. And you can see the emotion here when you lose by 1 point and it comes down, you know, where you have the chance, you know, and Yvonne Edgem is taking this loss tough. But you know what? You know, there's a reason why they gave her the ball, you know, in the final second. You know, they gave her the game, you know, with the ball in her hands. And I'll tell you, she was the player of the game for the Cardinals, and what a performance by Bishop Carroll.
Absolutely, and I'm sure if you ask Coach Fluker, he'd give her that ball again in the same situation and take his chances. She had an unbelievable game, and St. Albert's defense stood up for them in the end, and they're deserving champions.
And you want to talk about the champions. St. Albert, thanks to our researcher, Dave Oldham, our intrepid researcher, St. Albert has won 4 3A provincial championships, but has never won a 4A. For John Diedrich, this is the top of the mountain.
You know, it was about 6-7 years ago when St. Albert made the jump from the 3A division to the 4A division without being that population of school. And Coach Diedrich said at the time, I want to go when I think we can be there consistently year in, year out. They've won a bronze medal at this level. They've been competitive every year. They've won Metro championships. And for them to get to the top of the mountain is, I know, very gratifying for him, his basketball community, and all the work that he's done out in St. Albert.
And a big hand here, and you know what, we want to congratulate Josh Fluker and the entire Bishop Carroll squad. What a performance. They had an outstanding tournament. Lucy Faba, who's going to get her silver medal, the grade 12 guard, she's going to look back on this tournament very fondly. You know, the sting of this loss, it hurts now, but boy, this Cardinal team has so much to be proud of.
Absolutely they do, and you know what, they're going to be back next year. Yvonne's in grade 12, Faba's in grade 10. They've got some good returning players. Coach Fluker's built a great program at Bishop Carroll, and they'll be competitive for years to come. So full credit to them, back-to-back provincial silver medalists, and that's a wonderful achievement.
Well, I'll tell you, this, and like, I mean, Isabella Faba, can you imagine Isabella Faba in 2 years?
Oh,
in grade 12.
And I'll tell you what, the experience she gains from this, and like you said, it's going to sting, there's no doubt about it, but the experience and the learning and the opportunity that she'll take forward from this will be remarkable.
What a performance by Sophia DiGiacomo, the grade 12 center and post player, and Alex Lamacchia, the grade 12 guard. She had a very strong first half.
Yeah, no question Yvonne's the star of that team, but her, you know, the rest of those athletes came to play today and gave St. Albert obviously everything they could handle.
And we certainly, of course, want to congratulate the Bishop Carroll Cardinals, head coach Josh Fluker and his entire staff, and want to congratulate the entire school, the entire Bishop Carroll student population, and they, you know what, the entire school's got a great deal to be proud of with this Cardinal team, and we want to wish the Calgary contingent, the fans and parents and grandparents and all the people, and those people from Calgary who joined us tonight, want to wish them all the best, and want to wish Calgary, Bishop Carroll, safe travels home. But a silver medal and a second place performance and a great tournament for the Cardinals.
Absolutely, and a good showing for Calgary with Western Canada taking the bronze medal as well. So Calgary was well represented here, as they always are at this tournament, and those athletes were very deserving of all their recognition and awards they've received.
Here are the team captains to accept the runner-up trophy here at the Alberta Schools Athletic Association High School Provincial Championships. Here, this packed house here at the Rebel Gym, and now we get to the gold medal presentation, and these Skyhawks, we were doing a little bit of the math. We estimated that they had only lost really 2 games all season.
Yeah, I think the game to Bishop Carroll back in December, and they lost a great game. I actually watched it online to the BC AAA champions from Semiahmoo, coached by Alison McNeil, who's our former national team coach. So she's worked with a young group out of Langley for the last several years, and they were the BC champions, and St. Albert, the Alberta champions, and they did play earlier in the year as well.
Speaking of grade 10s, and you want to see that player in 2 years, Annecy Palmer in grade 12. Imagine, I mean, it's just the unlimited potential. Here's Cameron DeClercq, who was, just an unbelievable force in that game.
She hit that big 3 over in the wing late in the game and had several nice left-handed takes. She was a force for them, absolutely.
There's Morgan Harris. Madeline Dreffs got some minutes early on. She's a part of that, and this is part of that grade 10 youth movement. Here's Mimi Sigay. She's only in grade 11, so she better get used to this sort of thing, or in terms of these types of performances. There's Kaya Vandermeer. She concludes her high school career with a gold medal in the 4A championships.
Yeah, quite the way to go out. And you know what? Several players on the court tonight are going to be at the final Basketball Alberta U17 tryout as well. So, they were foes tonight, but you could even see the display of sportsmanship throughout the evening. And some of them potentially on the same team representing their province at this summer at national championships.
I think you could find 12 out of these 2 teams and pretty much go to war with anybody.
There's a lot of good players in the province, but there's a lot on this floor tonight, and you're right. You could take the top 12 here and go to battle for sure.
I think you can, and you'd probably do okay. There's a big hand for John Diedrich, his first 4A provincial title, and it's got to be a very, very satisfying moment for him. As you mentioned, he tried to build this program, moved into 4A after winning at the 3A level, and now the fruits of the labors. And there is the banner presentation, and we will soon have the nets cut down. There we go, the St. Albert Skyhawks, St. Albert Catholic High School, the 4A high school provincial champions, and the celebration is on in St. Albert tonight. and it's going to be a fun bus ride, a short bus ride.
Short bus ride,
A short bus ride to St. Albert. If you're on the Skyhawk team, you want that bus ride. You know, you kind of wish it was a good couple hours. But,
maybe they'll do a tour. Maybe
yeah,
they'll do a tour.
Yeah, you know, go around the Henday a couple of times. But that's going to be a fun bus ride back to St. Albert, and I'm sure they've got some students and a big celebration planned in St. Albert, and we've got our crew is down on the floor, going to have a quick chat with Taya DeMong, the player of the game. She's going to join us, and Taya, boy, this Taya, have you got us? Oh, you're right up here. There we go. Taya can't. Can you hear us? You got us? She can't quite hear us, so that's okay. But we will. At this point, Taya can't hear us, so we'll. You can just barely hear us. Hang on. Let's see if we can fix that. How's that? A little bit better, or? A little better, yeah. Okay, there we go. Well, Taya, congratulations. We were with you a couple of weeks ago. First of all, what a moment.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, take us through this. This was a real battle. I mean, you had cruised through the first 3 games, but Bishop Carroll gave you all that you could handle tonight.
Yeah, we knew that they were going to come out hard. It wasn't going to come easy at all. We knew we had to give it everything, and I think we did.
Now, looking at, your outside shooting, early on, it seemed in that first half, you seemed a little bit gun shy, but in the second half, boy, your outside shooting really took over.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the intimidation, it was definitely there, but once we got out there and we started playing as a team, it just started flowing better.
Taya, it was Dave Oldham here. Great to see you and Yvonne go to battle. Over the course of that game, you were matched up. How did you perceive that matchup? What was it like for you in those moments matched up one-on-one? We said 2 of the best high school players in the province.
Yeah, well, we both respect each other a lot. Like, we've gone through a lot together with provincial team and everything. And, yeah, I think we both just gave it our all. We battled at each other, and, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll pass things over to John Diedrich. Congratulations, Taya DeMong. Congratulations to your teammates.
Thank
we'll
you.
pass the microphone over to John Diedrich with the headphones. She's having a hard time hearing me, but we'll hopefully we can hear John. John, have you got us? John, have you got us?
It's hard to hear you, though.
It's difficult down on the floor. Kevin and Dave Oldham up here with you. First of all, congratulations, John. What a performance by your team.
Thank you very much. I think we have to make sure that we congratulate Bishop Carroll as well. Top 2 teams got here in the end, and to have a 1-point game as the rubber match game, because they beat us by 20 and then we beat them by 20. So for it to go down to the wire like this is unbelievable.
Hey, John, Dave here. You've built this St. Albert program up. I was saying 6-7 years ago you made the big jump to 4A and been a medalist, been in Metro Championships, been in semifinals. What's it like for you in this moment to have reached the top of the mountain?
Well, I mean, you know, Dave, what it's like to have athletes that commit to working hard, early morning shoots, extra training, all those sorts of things, and for it to culminate finally in a 4A championship in such a crazy game is unbelievable.
What a thriller. What a thriller. Go get onto the ladder, cut down the nets. Congratulations, John Diedrich, and all the best to you. And it's party time in St. Albert.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that is John Diedrich, and that brings this Alberta Schools Athletic Association webcast of the Provincial 4A Women's Championship game from Jasper Place High School in Edmonton to a close. And what a night at the Rebel Gymnasium. The St. Albert Catholic High School Skyhawks defeat the Bishop Carroll Cardinals of Calgary 66-65. Want to congratulate John Diedrich and his entire staff as the Skyhawks cut down the nets. We want to thank the staff and students here at Jasper Place for their support and assistance, and we want to also thank the Alberta Schools Athletic Association for bringing this webcast to you. Please stay tuned. We've got more basketball. We've got more thrills because we've got the men's 4A provincial title game coming right up, and we will bring you live coverage of that championship game in just a few moments' time. And on behalf of my partner, Dave Oldham, I'm Kevin Donnan, and on behalf of the Alberta Schools Athletic Association, good night from Jasper Place High School in Edmonton.